Hello to everyone. Let's start this streaming. Today we are gonna be resolving Busqueda from Hack the Box. I will try to show you the machine and why we are choosing this machine. So I hope you enjoy this live streaming. I think it will be really fast. I will try to show you how I go through this machine, how I resolve my methodology on doing this kind of machines, and I hope this helps you to improve your maybe note taking, your checklist, and so on. So the machine would be this one. I have done this machine some time ago. Yeah, I did it on 19 of May of 2023, so it was already quite some time. But yeah, to be able to access this machine, you will need the VIP Plus subscription from Hack the Box. So yeah, it costs some kind of 20 bucks or 25 euros, depending on where you are hosting. And yeah, that would be all from here. And of course, be connected to the VPN, blah blah, and so on. So if you are not familiar with the Hack the Box platform, please drop a comment or in the chat drop something, and I will try to help you through that process. So sorry, I wasn't showing you my screen, but here it is. This is the machine, Busqueda. So it's an easy machine. It's a Linux machine. It has already some services running on the machine, and specifically we are gonna try to perform the initial enumeration to try to find the initial foothold and make the exploitation have a stable reverse shell and perform the privilege escalation to gain root access. So we are going to start. Let me check something here from the streaming. Yeah, everything is correct. So we are gonna start. I'm going to open my Kali Linux. It's already connected to the VPN, and I already have created a specific directory for this machine. We are gonna grab the IP, so we will need to spawn the machine. It will take some minutes, some time. So I hope this live streaming doesn't take too much time. So I will try to go through the machine and try to explain my thoughts on how I reach some specific points. And of course, you can follow me through the live streaming, but also you have already the write-ups, and there is official write-ups and so on. Yeah, let's see. It will take some time. Okay, it's taking a bit of time. We can see the time, how long it took to be able to have the first flag for the user. 9 minutes. Actually, it's some time, and for root it was 40 minutes. I would say it's quite a bit, but it's tricky. This machine is very tricky, and it will challenge you to perform a good enumeration. So once we have the IP, we can go to our machine, and the first thing I would do is perform a nmap scan. So we are gonna start with sudo nmap I like to use dash n dash pn sbc sbc. We are gonna use this, and then just replace the IP for the one that Hackthebox provided us. So now we can start our enumeration. We can see that there is the port 80 open and the 22. Yeah, I guess we are getting this error because meanwhile I'm streaming. Yeah, the bandwidth is fully for the streaming, so maybe there is some, we are missing some packets around the scan. So what we are gonna do is we already know that there is a web service or web server running on this machine, so we are gonna go through it. Why? Maybe I have a proxy setup. Yeah, no proxy. Okay. So we are going to this IP. Okay. Yeah, it's taking some time. Yeah, well, I guess I would need to fix this thing to resolve the issue that I'm having right now between the live streaming and the machines. I guess I will need to, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the bandwidth, but I guess I will find a solution for that. Yeah, it's not loading. Let's try with curl. Okay, cool. Now with curl we are yeah, we got, maybe it was the nmap scan keeping the machine busy. So we can see that here is the name of the website. So what we are gonna need to do now is add this name, and also we have the same output when we use curl to retrieve the website. So we are gonna change our host file to add that one. So this is the IP, and then we are gonna just copy this. Okay, now we should be able to reach the website. Nice. So we have this strange static, I guess, or not, no idea. Search anything with searcher. Okay, looks like it allows us to search through different engines and other platforms. Okay, so looks like we would need to run burp suite to see what's going on in the background of this application. Okay. I don't know why, but usually I use Foxy Proxy to redirect the request from Firefox to Burp Suite, but from some time ago it doesn't work. So if you know why, I will be very happy to hear a solution. Okay. Let's see. So I will leave it like this now. Let's open the browser to avoid the issue that I'm having right now with Firefox. We are gonna use I will try to keep it because I will use Wapalizer. It's very useful to know which technologies are being used on the website. So yeah, I don't see nothing at the first view. I don't see nothing that I can use. Yeah, Cloudflare, and then here there's the source code, but we are gonna do it later. So let's try with something here. Let's try Google, example, search. So it gives us this redirection with the search. We have a query here. We have the query and the engine, right? So let's see which technologies are being used on this website, and that we can use Wapalizer. It's a really good plugin that we can use. So the first thing we can see is that the web framework is Flask, the web server as well, and of course the language or the programming language is Python. Yeah, what we can do is something quick would be check for the version. I will do it on this Flask 2.1.2, and then let's check for vulnerabilities. Okay, I don't see nothing at the first results here. I don't see nothing. We can try to search for exploit, something related to course. I don't think this is related to our version, maybe. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, so I don't see really first quick review. What we can do also is search exploit, and then search for Flask 2.1, and there is no results. Flask and nothing. So let's try to take a look to the source code, to the libraries and any reference that we can get to something specific here. Yeah, here are the options that are related to the engines, as you can see here. This would be the part where we make the query, the shards. Here's the endpoint where the method used is post. And then we have the query, the input tag for the query, and then the sumbit. We have this auto redirect. Okay. what's this? Powered by, if we go here, powered by Flask and Searcher 2.40. That's something specific. I would say this would be the library used on, I mean, like used for the query, for the searching query behind. So what we can do is search for this specific thing that we have. So we are gonna, okay, so it's already suggesting us exploit. Arbitrary code. Ooh, we have a GitHub with a proof of concept to be able to exploit this vulnerability. We can see where is the vulnerable code. We have an example of payload, and we should receive the reversal. So to receive this reversal, the guy is okay using burp suite and modifying the engine parameter. So we are gonna do the same, trying to replicate it. We are gonna go here. We are gonna keep this in the same way. We are gonna go this to repeater. And then once we are here, we are gonna try that payload. This is the payload. I'm gonna go here. It doesn't look correct to me. Okay, the guy is using %23. Yeah, okay, so it's URL encoded. So we are gonna do like this, and then URL encoding. Where is the option? Yeah, it's not this thing. Where is the option? Selection. Okay. I don't remember what it was. Here. Encode as URL. Yeah, I don't like this. I think I will just, let's start with replacing this thing, the API import. We are gonna set up here, set up this here. We are gonna clean up this, and then this would be my IP. Here, done. 443. We are replacing the payload with our IP and our ports. This would be the payload. We are gonna execute a shell to connect to us. If we analyze this, if you know a little bit of Python, you will see that this payload is basically importing the socket library, subprocess library, and OS library to execute a socket connection to this IP and port, and then it will execute a process with a shell, executing a shell, basically. But I will try to simplify this this river shell. I have my own one. This payload is a bit different. It's a bit different, so what I'm gonna do is replace the payload with mine and replace it again. 443. The IP was this one. So this would be a simplified payload that basically will use BusyBox to execute netcat and then get our reverse shell. So before executing this, we are gonna just put this on the side. If this thing allows me. Yeah, yeah. So let's see if we get that reverse shell. Yes, we got that reverse shell. If we do ID, we can see that we are SVC. Actually, I don't remember. I have alias to improve our reverse shell. Let me check. How was it? Okay, it's here. No, it was on Temox configuration. Yeah, I have it here, so it's okay. I think it was Control A, Control Q. Control Q. Maybe no. I don't remember how was it. It was Control Q. Oh. Yeah, I don't remember how was it. My own alias, it's crazy. I will check my GitHub to see the explanation of it. Yeah, I forgot how to. It was some time ago since the last time I here. Okay. Control A, Control Q. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how. I don't remember how it was. So probably I will try it later and be ready for the next time. So we are on bar www app. We can see that there are some files. Here it is our thingy script that is doing all the things and so on. We have a directory with templates. I should be able to improve the shell with now. Oh no. Control Z. Then Done. Done. Yo, yeah. Already we have improved our river shell. We have our stable river shell. So okay, we have the Git repository. We are gonna check the Git repository because time to time something that could happen that our Git or the Git, the first thing is go to the user. Okay, so let's see if in home SBC is the user. So here is the flag. I'm not gonna provide it here, so follow the right tab and then get your flag. Yes, so now we are gonna do some basic enumeration. We are looking for different users. There is root, SBC would be the first user created, so nothing in there. What we can do as well is just enumerate home and see if there is a created user or something. So yeah, there is nothing yet there, but as we know there is a git file folder. Let's check for the git folder because sometimes you can find their hard-coded credentials. So if we check here and we check the config file, bam, yeah, we found the remote credentials and we can see that there is a Git software called Gitea and some user and a password, I guess. So what we are gonna do now is add that virtual host to our host files. Okay, so we are gonna add the domain name here. Dot share. Okay, we save it. And now we can go to our Firefox and check for gitea.share. Oopsie. Yes, let's write the credentials that we found here. So Cody. So why is not loading? Okay. So we have the creds that we found. We are gonna try to see if we can use the user Cody. And check if we can log in with the credentials. Yes, actually we are able. We can see a first view of the administrator pushing some code, I guess for the searcher. Yeah, for the main code for the website. If we go to Explorer, we can check the code. Yeah, I think it's the same code we found on yeah, there is nothing here. It's just the code used for the website, and if you see here is the library that is vulnerable for arbitrary code execution. Okay, so we have access to a standard user, we have some credentials. So now it's time to verify and perform low fruit privilege escalation vectors. So, or basic things. One of the first things we can do is okay. Yeah. So what we can do is we know that Cody has that password, right? And usually there is something that we should do is another user that we have discovered is I mean we have SBC and Cody as user on the machine and one password. Something that we should do is create, for example, a file for the users, and here we are gonna save SBC and Cody, and then another for the passwords. And here we are gonna copy the password that we have discovered. This could be really helpful because in using Hydra or something like that, we can perform a brute force over a service with the user founds and passwords, and then we can discover password reutilization. So that's very important and keep it in mind. And maybe you can make a checklist on your notes about that. So what we are gonna do is, since now there is just two users, we can try with SSH, SBC at, and the IP was this one, or not, it wasn't, but we can do just like this, searcher.htb, and then we are gonna provide the password we found for Cody, and voila, we got access because there is password reutilization on this machine, and we got access to SPC. Yeah, so to recap everything, we did a scan where we found the port 80 open. On that website or web server is hosting a vhost or virtual host with the domain searcher.htb, right? And this website is developed on Flask and Python, and is using a library called Searcher in the version 2.40. Searching for that version allowed us to basically find a proof of concept on GitHub with a possible payload that we can utilize. But of course, I used my own that is very simple, as you can see here. And then we got a reverse shell, and within the website directory there is a git directory where we found on the configuration file hard-coded credentials, where we found a Gitea application running on the same server. And since we got the reverse shell with the SBC user, we tried the password that we found, and we identified password reutilization on this machine, and we got access through SSH to the user SBC on the machine. So now we did two, let's say we got the first privilege escalation between quotes because we got access to the SBC. And now here on the SBC, we can just check what's going on here around. We have a git config file. Okay, looks like SBC is Cody, We have the flag, but nothing else. Another thing that we can do is check for sudo privilege, since we have the password, and there you go. Here is something that is executing SBC, and with Python it looks like Python script, of course. Yeah, let's take a look. I will just minimize this a bit. Let's go to OPT scripts. Okay, we have a bunch of scripts here. All of them owned by root, but we are gonna check first the system checkup. Can we check it? Yeah, we don't have rights. We just have execution rights. So what we are gonna do is execute the same command as we have in sudo. Okay, it explains. We have the explanation of how it works. Looks like this script is using Docker. Yeah. So we can execute this script to execute Dockers. Okay. So let's check for the first one. Docker. Yes. Ooh, okay. So we see the Docker endpoints running on this machine. I will. So we have the Gitea one and MySQL server running here. We have two. Okay, so we can use, if I'm not wrong, this Docker inspect to check for configurations on a file. Okay, we can, I guess, use this. I have my own command here as well. We will gonna check this one. So what we are gonna do is use Docker inspect, provide the format and the instance ID, and we are gonna provide the instance ID for Gitea because it's the first one, and the result because we are specifying that we want the configuration of that Docker instance in JSON format. Because I don't see nothing here, I'm going to use an online. Okay. Ooh, nice. We found some credentials for the Gitea database, for the user Gitea. Okay. We are gonna check the second. I will duplicate this. I'm going to check the second machine. I'm going to use the same command. Bam, bam. I think it's the same password here. Yeah, looks like. yeah, same password. So we are gonna get this password and save it on our um, notes. Right. Then we have discovered two new users. Those would be MySQL and Gitea. Okay, so what we are gonna do, because let's check the other command. We know that we have the full checkup. So we are going to check it. Full checkup. Full checkup. So running. We have like general information about, yeah, we have information about the web hosts as well. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. I think I am missing something here. Why we have the same? Okay, maybe it's because of this. I didn't paste the right JSON. So here, here, then we go here. I paste this. There you go. We have the MySQL root password. That's great. That's a new password. So we are gonna do the same thing. Paste it here. And then we can just try for root and use the password. No, doesn't work. Let's try with default admin user Gitea. What would be the default user? Gitea. We can check the installation of Gitea, how it works. Let's try this one. Gitea login. Authentication. Admin account. This with LDAP. Let's check here again in Gitea. Let's go to Explorer. We have Kodi. We can see the commits, maybe. Where are here? Commit. Okay, looks good. Let's give it a shot with administrator and the password that we have to try to sign in here. Administrator, and for example, the password for the MySQL root, maybe because we have password utilization, and could be that the root user is using the same one for the administrator. doesn't work. We have this one, and also we have the database password for Gitea. Okay, nice. The second attempt. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Oh, okay, the administrator has some scripts, and we have access to all of them. All the OPT scripts directory where are the Python scripts. So what we can do here, let's go to check the main Python script that we have sudo privilege on it. We have some functions here, run command, process action. So we have to, for Docker inspection, one, for Docker PS another one, and for the full checkup another one. On the first view, it gets my attention, this thing, because it's not using a full path for the script, it's using a relative path. So that means if I execute or I call this script from another directory, the first thing this script will do is check for this script. If I call full checkup, it will check for this script and then execute it as root, because we are executing the script with sudo. So if we go here and we check, we can see that we have full checkup.sh, right? But what happened if I execute this here, full checkup, it will pop up this. So, but if I go to temp and then I execute this, something went wrong. That means that it's looking actually in the actual directory where we are executing the command. And this is our vector for to get root, basically. So what we are gonna do is to create our own reverse shell. Here we can create, it was full checkup.sh. I have a template here. I don't remember what was my IP, but we are gonna check it now. Okay, so it's this one. Here we are gonna use the same port 443. Okay, it's a basic reverse shell, so we are gonna save this, provide execution rights, it's mode plus X for execution rights, then bam, set up netcat here. You know, sometimes running too fast the password makes this kind of mistakes. Yes, so now if we execute this, we should get the reverse shell. I hope you understand why this script is vulnerable. It's using a relative path on full checkup function, and that's allow us to run the command from another directory and create a malicious file, basically, and call it from the main Python script. And there you go. We check, we are root. That means that we have access to the root directory and also to the flag. So yes, guys, this is a really great machine. It's a machine that basically was the category is easy, but I wouldn't say that this machine is it's easy. Okay, um, this machine mainly helps you to perform a good enumeration and to check almost everything, and you know, gather some credentials, gather some users. So it's trying to keep you aware that there is password utilization, there is a lot of things that you need to take notes, like users that you discover, password that you discover during the or around the time. Oh, I don't hear any music anymore. No. So it helps you to keep going and taking notes of every single piece of information that you find in the path. And I think it's very important for the OSCP. And if you do this machine with any write up, you will struggle a lot because, of course, there is no a clean path to go through the information or everything that you are trying to discover. So you have a website, you need to be really sure and check everything. Any version of software, any version of framework, any version of everything. Take note and so on. In this case, in this video, I went through more or less with my thoughts and my memory. More or less, I was able to remember where the things were. So I was able to resolve all the machine without taking notes, right? If you like this video and everything, let me know in the comments because now in the chat there is not too many people. If you want to do a machine but taking notes, and I can show you, or maybe I can make another live streaming about note taking, and I can take a example machine and specifically go through note taking and help you to improve your ways. So I hope you enjoyed this live streaming, and if you are watching this in YouTube, I hope this write up helps you and drives you in the correct way to discover the things. And if you learn something new, I will be really happy. Let me know in the comments, and see you soon. Bye.